Good morning and welcome to our channel, Off Grid by Design. We are going to continue making videos of our transition from a somewhat city life, noise, congestion, houses, 8 feet between them, to a country living. We purchased a home a few months back on property that consists of a little bit over 5.5 acres. And you know what? Let's take a tour of the place and show you what we have to deal with here. But really, our goal is to become more self-sufficient. We'll try a lot of things: gardening, a little farming, canning, and we'll bring you along with us as we try these different endeavors. The front of the house faces south. You gotta have one of these out front, American flag. That's just a requirement in our house. Moving around, a 2-car attached garage, 2.5 car. We have a shop out here that was already on the property, 32 by 48 feet. My wife has already started greenhouse. She wants to do winter crops, and we'll talk about that later as well. The house is primarily heated by a wood burner with a backup of propane. The previous owner, he actually said in the last 9 years he's only topped the propane tank off 2 times in 9 years, which is outstanding. He's been using wood, and that heats the garage, the hot water, and the heat for the home as well. So he put a nice system together. Take around, but walk out back here. We'll visit the shop at another time. But basically, the property goes another 150 feet past the garage here and leads out back. So we'll take a walk all the way back here. I tell you, the place is just surrounded by beautiful trees. I mean, we have no intentions of cutting these down. There are a few up front that we're going to cut down because we're going to make a change in the driveway. But overall, it's the garage has 2 floors. It has an unfinished area upstairs that we're going to make that into a shop for my wife. It's actually a walkout, a little bit over 2,000 square feet. Nice deck. Those containers up by the wall up there, those are planters. Those are for raised beds. That's something else my wife is working on. Just surrounded by everything here. It's a different kind of noise. I took a little bit to get used to. One, not flinching every time something jumped at my feet. That was the first thing. You had to get used to that. Yeah, it's just now slowing down. There's a burner there. I'll top that off later. Yeah, I have to sort this wood here. Had that delivered. Paths that actually go throughout the area back here. But let's take a walk out back. We have a section out back. My wife wants to do a no-till or no-dig garden. The thing about when you do something like that is you have to prepare the soil well in advance. So this is fall, early fall, as you see, because trees are still have leaves on them. But that will change within the next month and a half or so. But walking back here, it's different for me. You know, I'm used to walking on sidewalks, and I'm not what you call a country person, but I will tell you, when we looked at this home, it came on the market last September, and it was kind of like the last one on the list we looked at. And walking in the door, my wife said she wants this home, and I tell you, she was right, just so right. I mean, just beautiful. So definitely changed for me. At night it is dark like you would not believe. The stars are just awesome. I mean, just too much. So you see the tarp right there. That's actually preparing that, so that's going to stay that way for a month and a half or so, and we'll get that ready for the next layer. That post over in the corner, that's the corner of the property there. And there's a home that backs up to this, and it's a lot of land back there. But when you come back here at night, I'm told that you know, because there's no trees blocking it, that the stars are beautiful. But I tell you what, they look beautiful from my deck at night. But so you see, we had paths that goes through here. Piles of wood. I'm not sure I'm gonna do anything with that. I mean, let nature do its thing right there. You know? But coming out here, it's definitely healthier. I mean, funny thing is when I retired, I thought that I was gonna put on a lot of weight because I was walking 14 miles a day, literally every day on my job. So I was kind of concerned about gaining weight in my age. It hasn't happened. I've actually lost weight, which is actually hilarious. So it turns out that I really didn't have a concern. That post over in the corner right there, the pink or red post, that's the corner of the property right there. And as you see, it's just a beautiful view out here. This back area right here, we're gonna have a few projects. We're gonna put a garden back here. We plan to actually put a vineyard back here. I'm gonna put a small pumping station back here to help with the garden. A lot of ideals. Heading back up front. This is the west side of the property right here, and you probably can't tell, but it sits lower, and it's actually a water retention area during the spring and early summer, because we can get some really heavy rains, I found, but the water settles there. And only thing I have to make sure I do is treat that water when it first starts, so we don't have a mosquito problem, which I found that out. But there's no plans to do anything with that. Just let the water run. So when it really rains heavy, it just fills that area right there, and that's fine. As you see, just a lot of trees, acorns, walnuts, maple. We've got raspberries, and the other thing is, you know, I'm used to seeing cats and dogs. Out here you have coyotes, raccoons, chipmunks, squirrels, you name it, we have it. But I will say though, in the last month and a half or so, really haven't seen many raccoons and rabbits, and I think that's because coyotes were back in the area. So I think that kind of took care of that. One of the favorite things my wife loves is this fire pit. I like the one we have on our deck, propane, but she loves this. I'm going to make a slight design change on it so it smokes a little less, but it's a nice area. As you see, the slant of land comes down, so water runs down here. Back of the house faces north. I'm not sure if we're going to supplement that with additional solar later, because in the morning like now, you see it's actually getting good sun. That garage door on the left right there, the previous owner used to keep his lawn equipment in there. Takes about 2.5 hours to cut this. Just what you see here, it takes a little bit to cut it, which is, as you see, it's and the leaves. So I'll be cutting this later on today. You see, we do embrace security. Cameras around the house, and these are just the ones you see. I have cameras you can't see as well. Glass block. So I installed the security system as well. So even though we're in the country, you know, still need to practice safety around the home. Solar disconnect. Later on, we'll do a video on that, and what that process was. This is the easement for utility for this pole right here, but the property line ends at this pole right here, straight down to the street. Very, very, very nice property. I really can't complain. I mean, it was the builder did a really good job on constructing it, and then the next owner, he did a really good job. He added that shop out there, and he added the wood burner. But he did a really good job maintaining the property. As you see, I have a building permit in the window. I'm actually in the process of finishing the basement. But that's it. I mean, pretty much, we love the place. We've been here a few months. We're still transitioning from the other house. Really, that area right there, get off subject here, that area right there, that's going to eventually be a koi pond. So those trees will be coming out. My wife wants a koi pond in that area there, so we're gonna do that. And then oh, little chipmunk right there. Okay. They actually don't really come up in the grass area because I put some treated the lawn, so there's really no grubs or anything for them to eat up there. So they're relegated out here in this area. Now I'm actually surprised I haven't seen any deer this morning. Usually in the morning I see deer either standing out here or running across the yard. But you stay with us and you'll see those as we go on. But I want to welcome you on this journey with us as we transition from on-grid life to off-grid as much as possible. We plan to, as you see, we already installed solar. I've got a wind turbine. We have a wood burner that we will not be replacing as that ages. When it finally kicks out, then I would have already had that supplemented with additional solar. But right now we're going to take advantage of it. And as we go along, we'll make changes. A lot of products we use that we're going to talk about too, not because any endorsements or anything like that. It's just these are the things that we use in our daily life, and if it works, we'll continue using. If it doesn't, we won't. And I'll give you a tour of the shop later when I'll probably do that when we do this video on our solar and wind system. You'll like that right there. But hey, once again, welcome to our channel, Off Grid by Design. And comments, please, and any suggestions as we move along, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are already off grid and they had some things that didn't work for them and did work for them, and love to not make the same mistakes that others made and actually jump on some of the improvements that they did make. So thank you. See you next time.